For those who are worried about the state of the world, we empaths can truly feel the suffering of most of the humans on this planet, the trauma, the abuse, the grief, and the sorrow, and truly many of the animals as well. We can see this world as suffering, struggling, and even dying. For you, I have a message from the Hathors, and I'm excited to deliver it. The message here is simply this: everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. And I mean everything. All the negative experiences, all the positive experiences, all the suffering that you're experiencing, all of the burdens, the abuse, the emotional trauma that you have experienced and that you will experience. It's all here for a reason. You are supposed to see how bad it is so that you can have that experience. And you are also supposed to see how good it is so that you can have that experience.
Let's look at it from two perspectives. The first perspective is our higher selves. Before we were born into these incarnations, we observed all of existence from a position of infinity. As our souls or as our higher selves, we cannot die, nor can we suffer. Suffering is purely a 3D experience. It's based on the fact that we can die. As our higher selves, we cannot experience suffering, and we cannot experience most of the positive experiences either. Really, the only emotion that we can experience as our higher selves is unconditional love. So if you want to experience more than that, then you have to incarnate as a limited 3D being. And wow, are we limited. The second perspective is from this limitation. From here on this 3D plane, the way we view the world is through a lens of survival. Our primitive ancestors lived in a very harrowing world. Death could come at any moment from any direction. We could be killed by predators, by an infected scratch, a poisonous plant, by dehydration, starvation, temperature problems, freezing to death, or getting too hot. It goes on and on. And we have no natural defenses. We don't have a tough hide, sharp claws. We can't handle extreme temperatures. We're very squishy. Our only natural defense comes from our powerful brains. But for as amazing as these brains are, the brain's limited perspective keeps us in the dark about most things. We can't predict the future. Our senses really only show us our immediate surroundings in the now moment. So this is a recipe for high reliance on imagination. So how do we use this skill? We imagine, because our brains are incredibly good at this, every possible doomsday scenario. Think about it. Children play make-believe all the time to hone this skill. The saber-toothed tigers could be coming around the corner. The baby could be born with health problems. The rains may not come in time and the river might dry up. And on and on. We imagine every possible scenario so we can create a plan to avoid it. This makes life here seem way worse than it actually is. Rarely are we upset about the way things are. We think we are, but actually we're way more upset about the way things might be. But we don't use the word might. Our ability to imagine is so powerful that we think of it as a mathematical certainty. It's this certainty that causes the greatest anxiety and fear that we could possibly have. This is the main cause of our suffering.
Did we, as our higher selves, not know that this was the way that it was going to be? Did we not know that the world was screwed up? Of course we knew. We knew all of it, and we knew everything we were going to experience. We knew what was possible. And not only what was possible, we knew for sure exactly what we were going to experience to meticulous detail. We did it to experience it, and we knew what we were getting ourselves into. So why would you do this to yourself? Because only from this limitation can you access all of these experiences. And so we have to go back to our original statement. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. So I realize that this may not feel so great to hear, that you would leave unconditional love to come here to experience all of this pain and suffering. But there's one thing at least that you can take away from it, that this is a temporary experience, that this is a little vacation into chaos, and that eventually you will return to the bosom of unconditional love. But the most important thing to take away from this is, how is it that we can take advantage of this situation?
The Hathors tell us that the best way to experience this life is to look at it as it truly is. You are essentially an explorer. You're here to experience misery and greatness and everything in between. In that vein, it's like you're living through a play or a movie where you're the main character. You can choose to observe this movie, or you can choose to participate in it. You get to choose how much of it you take seriously, and you get to choose how much of it that you just watch for entertainment's sake. All of the other players in the movie are you as well. You as source. All of the other 3D people and all the 3D animals. All of the life on this planet is you. You as source. You are experiencing all of the pain, all of the pleasure, and everything in between as each and every one of them. You are the abuser and you are the abused. You are the doctor and you are the patient. You are being born today and you are dying today. You are the punisher and you are the victim. Nobody is actually doing any of this to anyone else. It's all you just doing it to yourself.
So why would you do this to yourself? Again, look at it from the perspective of source. You as source, because that's what you are. You cannot experience these experiences because you cannot die, because you are infinite. So therefore, the only thing that you can do is erase your memory, the fact that you are source, erase your memory, the fact that you are infinite, so that you can take this world seriously. And so guess what? That's exactly what you're doing. You are taking this world very seriously, so seriously that you're suffering, so seriously that you are enjoying every moment that you can't possibly can. So we hear an awful lot about the transition from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And many people look at it as their savior, as their opportunity to finally be done with all of the suffering. They don't want any more of the corruption. They don't want any more of the abuse. They don't want any more of the trauma. So they say, I cannot wait until we get to the fifth dimension. And finally, all of this will be over and we'll be able to live as the beings of light that we are. So I have a little secret, a little tip, a little special attention or approach that you can take to transition to the fifth dimension way faster than waiting for it to happen. So let's say that we were standing in front of a doorway and I opened up the door and you could look through and see a fifth dimensional consciousness, a fifth dimensional society that is full of light and unconditional love. And I told you that, hey, would you like to step through this door and leave the suffering, the pain, the trauma of the third dimension and just go ahead and move into the fifth? What would you say? I'm sure most people would say, heck yeah, I'm moving through that door. Goodbye, third dimension. Thanks a whole heck of a lot. I am ready for the fifth. But guess what would happen? As soon as you step through that door, you would discover that you were still in the third dimension. You would probably turn to me and go, hey, you lied. I thought this was the path to the fifth dimension. It is the path to the fifth dimension, but the correct answer is the opposite of what you actually said. If you were to look at that door and say, you know what? I truly do not need to go through that door. I truly don't need to. I don't need to escape the third dimension. I love it exactly as it is. All the chaos, all the trauma, all the confusion, all the difficulty, all the corruption, all of it. And all the beauty, the paradise planet that we're on, all of this incredible life that is here in the third dimension is perfect exactly as it is. I am still a being of light, whether I'm in the third or I'm in the fifth. So it doesn't matter to me at all. I came here to experience this third dimensional experience. So I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to love it exactly as it is. And I feel like it would be cheating to jump into the fifth dimension too soon. And guess what would happen? You would raise your consciousness to a fifth dimensional consciousness. It's really that simple, and it's really that paradoxical. So rather than run from what you do not want, embrace all of it exactly as it is to ascend to a new way of looking at life, to a new way of not having fear any longer, because you know that this is temporary, you know that this is an experience just for you to have, and you know that it's all possible to be enjoyed. Because again, the people who are suffering are you as source. The people who are struggling are you as source. You chose this for yourself to experience it. So go experience it and have all the emotions that are associated with it and love every second of it. So what do I really love about the doorway thing is that it is all about what you can do, right? Because when we wait for the fifth dimension to occur, when we wait for that transition of society to happen, then we are expecting it to happen outside of ourselves. And that is the definition of third dimension. A third dimensional person or a third dimensional consciousness goes to a doctor to be healed. They don't try to heal themselves. A third dimensional consciousness goes to church to hear the word of God rather than access it themselves. So if we wait around for a fifth dimensional experience to just come and happen to us, then we are not taking the action that we really need to take in order to get there ourselves. And so we can be in a fifth dimensional consciousness at all times. Whether the rest of the world is third or not, it doesn't matter. We can observe it from a fifth dimensional perspective and love every second of it. That's what I love about this approach. So if you would like a fifth dimensional consciousness activation, there is one that you can download off of my website, and I'll leave a link in the description below. It's probably the most powerful activation that I just have available for free on my website. So I highly recommend you check it out. So thank you so much for watching this video. I absolutely loved making it, and I'm so excited to hear what you have to say about it. I want to know if it's helped you move from a third dimensional consciousness to a fifth dimensional consciousness. So thank you again so much for watching this video. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel and liking the video and clicking the bell icon and all those wonderful YouTube things that helps promote the channel and helps promote this particular video, because I know that it's going to help a lot of people. So thank you once again. I love you unconditionally, and I'll see you in the next video.